welcome mourners to Dirge of Mourning. We are your hosts, Andrew A. Graves and Terabella Thorne. In today's episode, both myself and Terri here have picked out 5 songs each from funeral doom bands that we could pretty much listen to constantly, more or less.
Oh yeah.
Now, the question I have to ask you here is, how difficult was it narrowing it down just to 5?
Well, pretty difficult because I usually listen to whole albums. And what I did was go through some of my albums that I then would try to pick like my favorite one. Now, I don't have all of these albums, but most I would say I do. Some are just one-off songs that I found on, YouTube or Bandcamp and would listen to. So that's how I chose. I just songs that I really like.
I almost found it damn near impossible.
Well, yeah, you must have a much larger discography than me as far as what you've listened to because you've been doing it.
Yes. I really struggled with a few here that are on my list. I'm sitting there going, I really like that song, but then here's another 5 songs that I really like.
Yeah.
It was a hard decision, but I narrowed it down to songs that I, like I said, could listen to just 24/7, all year round type thing.
I would say that there are other albums and songs that I left off, not intentionally, because, yeah, it is kind of hard to narrow it down to 5. I think it is hard.
Oh, absolutely. Well, speaking of how hard it was, one of the first songs I'm going to introduce here is by a band called Loss, with their song Silent and Completely Overcome from the album Desponded. Right from the beginning of the song, it just grabbed me. Mm-hmm. I didn't feel like it was going to be like an easy song to get through, especially with the opening guitar string being strung the way it was. Like the pick was basically being scraped up one of the strings.
Yeah.
And it had this like very sort of like distorted sound to it, and it was just kind of eerie. And then just as that was sort of settling in, this guy comes along and starts like singing in a clear voice with like what almost felt like a haunting like vocal style. And the lines that I'm gonna quickly read here is the opening lines to the song, and it just, I stuck with it all the way through because of this opening segment. The lyrics kind of go like this: I do not remember a depression such as this. How many clocks has it been since we last spoken? Forgive me as I pass my soul from one dark evening into the next.
Wow.
Just from those words alone, I was like, oh, I'm in for it now. And after the song had finished, it came in of this realization to me of, I need to listen to that again. And I replayed it, and I started noticing how soul-crushing the sound was from the guitar and vocals, and just the overall atmosphere of the song. It was just amazing, and I'd still listen to it to this day.
So how long ago did you start listening, or how old is the song? Like how old, how long,
The song is The song came out in 2011.
Okay.
So it's quite a bit old.
It has a little bit of age, yeah.
And when I discovered it, I was just, like I said, I just constantly replayed it and replayed it and replayed it.
Is it a long song?
It lasts for a good close to, well, I should say just over 10 minutes.
Oh, that's a decent length. Is it just a straight funeral doom?
Yeah, I would say in terms of the way it's structured, it definitely is. Subject matter may not be for everybody because it does touch on the concept of suicide.
I think we listened to this together a long time ago. I remember.
It's a very hard album.
It's very, yeah.
It's a hard album to get through.
There's no happy part to it. Let's say that.
No. Again, it might be a touchy subject for other people, but for me, I just enjoyed the way that it was created and delivered. It ticked all the right boxes for me in terms of like how the music was structured and stuff like that.
Oh, good.
So, what about yourself?
Well, the first on my list is Shape of the Square.
Shape of the Square, by the way. Yes.
Shape of Despair. Quiet these paintings are.
Ooh.
All right. I think that in one of our other discussions, I said a lot about this song already. How I came to it and just listened to it over and over and over and over again, kind of like you were mentioning with this last song of yours. This song came out in 2001. It's a very old song. It is absolutely beautiful. The mood that is created with the piano and the strings and it actually has a quiet artistic quality to it with a sort of a majestic but yet calm, majestic feeling to it. The lyrics are very short, right to the point, and it's not dwelling on anything horrid. It's talking about one moment of emotion. And I can simply picture somebody, as they say here, for a moment I will stare into this deep saddened sea. So this person, whoever it may be, is just having this overwhelming emotion about life and death. They're not talking about any particular person dying or any particular thing. I think it is just one of those moments in a person's life when they have this moment of reflection on our, can't think of the word.
Mortality.
That's it. And our sort of existence, like, why are we here? I know when I was a young girl, I used to have these moments where my brain was thinking in a different way. And I think what I meant was I was thinking outside of our normal, conventional, everyday thoughts that we have. I was thinking about a concept. So when you're like 8 or 10 years old and you have this sort of concept feeling in your brain, you don't really know what it is. But I think that's what this is, a moment of reflection. So the lyrics are very, very tiny, but the song is quite long, I think. It's over 14 minutes. Wow. So over 14 minutes, but you don't feel it as 14 minutes because of the composition. It just is a beautiful, almost symphonic type of composition, the kind of thing I like, with non-intrusive lyrics. There's no one yelling at you. There's no one wailing in pain. It's a reflective moment and absolutely beautiful. I love the title of it. I love the lyrics. I love the sound of it. And it has, for me, a calming quality, not one of, getting all excited all over the place. This is just a very, very calming song to me. So that's my first one.
Well, for my second one here, I'm gonna go with something just as long. And I'm sure most people would probably expect me to kind of put this towards the end, but I've decided no. I just constantly go back to this particular song, and that is Frowning's Buried Deep from their album It's Extinct. It's coming in at about 21 minutes long. There's this haunting organ sound at the beginning of the track as it builds up to the opening riff, which I instantly fell in love with. The song and album, both, I love them to death, literally. I non-stop listening to it when I stumbled across it. I would say that it is just majestic, but also full of emotion when it comes to the death growls. Like, there's a lot of emotion in there. And one of the lines, though there was many that I could have chose from, I'm going to go with this particular line when it is done with the death growl style. But the majority of the song is actually done in a spoken word.
Oh, okay.
But this line in particular kind of stood out for this particular moment. And the lyrics kind of go along the lines of this. Here I walk like a spectre, alone and desolated.
Nice.
So yeah, Buried Deep is a song that I can listen to for hours, and I have.
Well, how long of a song is it?
It goes about 21 minutes.
Oh, that is long. And then how old is it?
So the song and the album came out round about 2017.
Oh, okay. So that's not that old, really.
No, but here's the other thing. The album has been re-released. Its original had a different color scheme and artwork.
Oh, to the cover.
To the new cover that's out now, which is I don't know, the both album covers to me are both perfect representations of what the album's about. I wouldn't have changed either one of them. So yeah, just one of my favorite bands, one of my favorite songs from them. After I'm done here, I'm probably going to go listen to it another 30 times.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, I probably have heard it before. I'm just going to have to check it out again and remember the things you're saying about your songs, and, hope that people will kind of listen to some of the stuff that we're describing for whatever reason they want to choose a song to listen to.
Oh, absolutely. Of course, as usual, the link will be in the description, guys, to all the different songs here.
Yeah.
And go and check them out at your own leisure. So, your next one.
Okay, well, first of all, I forgot to mention on the first one, The Shape of Despair, that album is called from 2001, Angels of Distress, which I also just love that title. So anyway, perfect. So the next song that I kind of discovered and started to listen to a whole bunch was by Clouds.
Ooh.
And this song has been done several different times, several different ways, but it is called In This Empty Room. But the version that I like features a wonderful female singer, Gogo Melone. And this is from the album called Destin, and it is from 2017. So I do want to say this. I've noticed that a lot of Funeral Doom albums came out in 2017, and it's funny you just mentioned that last one.
Mm-hmm.
Just on a side note there. But
yeah.
The reasons I like this, the piano, the slow, sad, sort of dreamy quality that's created, the atmosphere, and then you have this voice. And her voice in this has this quality of, it's very deep. I like it. It's just a very unusual sound to a voice, and it makes this song. Her voice makes this song. I mean, it's a beautiful song anyways. The music's lovely, and it's only about a 7-minute song, so it's not impossible to gather, yourself together for 7 minutes. Listen to this song.
Okay.
The words, let's see. Words are quite deep and sad. So, be prepared for that. It is a sad song.
Well, if you're looking at Funeral Doom and not expecting it to be sad, I'm pretty sure the contents of Funeral should give you that indication. But, yes, please continue.
Okay, I'm just going to read the first few lines just to give you a small hint of what we're talking about.
Okay.
Shield, walls, despair and distant. The rain falls in my eyes and covers all I had. All I have wished to find once more has been taken from me. So,
well,
we're dealing
if that's not cheery music, I don't know what is.
We're dealing with misery, despair, extreme sadness, rolling around in your sorrow.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what we're dealing with. So, love, beautifully sung though, and beautifully done music. It's if you do go to look this up on YouTube, it's easy enough to find. And the recording here that I'm listening to is really clear, so you can hear everything. Nice, clean recording, whoever put this up. And, yeah. One of my favorites.
Nice. So I guess I'll jump in with mine.
Sure.
The next one for me is going to be Funeral Mourning with their song Drown in Solitude from the album Drown in Solitude.
Oh, okay, title track.
This album and song came out around about just at the tail end of 2006.
So a little bit older, okay.
And I guess the only way I could describe it is simply this. This is blackened Funeral Doom. This track is just a pure pleasure to listen to. It only comes in at just under 5 minutes.
Oh, that is short. Okay.
But those 5 minutes are dark, gloomy, melancholy stricken. There is this backing track of synthesized music that is being played that, I absolutely cannot get enough of. The intro piece is a guitar that is like slowly calming, but then it builds into that blackened sound, which just changes the whole mood and atmosphere of this piece. then there's a part in the song which is sort of near the middle to the end that I just relish in. There's this piece where there's this trumpet that kicks in.
Oh, cool.
And when that happens, the way that it's paced, I had to hear this song again and again and again. I just could not get enough of the way that this was recorded. Now, I would share the lyrics with you, but they are so short, I would be doing you guys a disservice by reading any of it.
Yeah, because you give it all away.
Yeah, I would, because it is literally just a paragraph.
Yeah, that's how a lot of these songs are, even some of the longer ones.
Oh yes. See, this is a typical staple of funeral doom. It's like really short lyrics with this long, bombastic piece of music. But again, the track fades at the end into the next song. So I always love to just catch it just before it ends and replay it again. And it just
I like to do that sometimes.
It gives me goosebumps in a good sense when I hear it.
That's good.
So
very nice.
Yeah, it's just a fantastic short song. It really is.
Great.
So your next one then.
Well, I'm sure you will know me for this song. From one of my very favorite albums, Aphonic Threnody, Of Loss and Grief, comes the song Lies.
Oh.
This song blew me away. Okay, there are many reasons why. And if I could let you know this, though, it is from 2017. And the first thing that I notice about it is the pacing. This song is utterly slow, like totally, completely. It will drag. And when I'm listening to it, I'm thinking, good Lord, if this is a funeral dirge, they're walking so slow. And what's interesting about the sound of the voices, in some parts of the song, they're speaking very, very slowly. Now, this song is, let me get this up here because I had it up here. This song is over 19 minutes long. It goes through a lot of changes, and a couple of the instruments that really caught me with this song are the strings, and also the guitar riff. The guitar riff and melody throughout the whole thing. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm just totally blown away by the guitar in this song. The lyrics. Well, I wrote the word down dark, but dark doesn't even describe what the lyrics are. These lyrics, for one thing, they're really long, which is unusual, but it's a very long song. They are really dark. This is talking about what I believe is complete fear of death. Okay, so here we go. I love it. Love how it starts. Just love it. And remember that they're speaking these or singing these or growling these very, very slowly.
Okay, so
they're
now
driven into you. Okay.
Yeah.
Visions of the living darkness. Monsters coming to rape your soul. Shadows moving from wall to wall. Suffocating prisoner of a deep slumber. I'm just going to keep going because the next one, it's just, I just have to keep going a little bit. The lyrics, I'm not going to spoil it. There's tons of lyrics here, but I love these lyrics. Colors slowly fading, leaving room for obscure shades of vermilion patterns like blood, like gore, like tortured corpses hanging from black ropes. Sanctuary of terror, horrors away confined like secrets locked in forgotten closets. Dead whom life has been denied. That's just a little
Jesus
taste
Christ.
of what we're in for. It's really heavy. The idea is heavy. The song, absolutely beautiful. I had no idea how extremely dark and heavy the lyrics were until I looked them up. Because the way it's delivered, first of all, it's really hard to understand when they're going. I mean, like, the way they're singing is so drawn out and slow. Mm-hmm. It's hard to hear the words. So when I looked this up, I'm like, oh yeah, now that makes sense. That makes sense.
I'm definitely gonna have to check the song out again. I'm definitely gonna have to.
It is really, really beautiful. It's. I also think it's about dying, being afraid of death, and trying to deny death.
Yeah, I can definitely see that in those types of words. Yeah.
Yeah, these visions and things going so that you look. If you're in pain or suffering in your mind, even, you're still alive.
Oh yeah.
The moment that stops, you're gone.
Oh, absolutely.
So in even the most base way, you still have feeling, even though it might not be the best feelings. Kind of like proving to yourself you're still alive.
Oh yes, almost that will to survive is trying to kick in as hard as it can. Yes. Due to the fear that you're experiencing, because you know that the end is literally around the corner.
Yes. So I think your mind is kind of going back and forth from these horror visions to this. Okay, but I'm still here. Horror vision. I'm still here. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Look, death could be scary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there we have it. The scary part of death right there in that song. And this whole album is fantastic, but this song in particular it's just a huge masterpiece of a song. Ugh. I love everything about it. Everything. And I've listened to it many, 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 many times, and I would suggest you do too.
Oh, don't you worry, I will be. Because you've just piqued my interest again in this band. So yes, I'll be looking forward to that. I can't wait to dive into the sort of agony of death and, you know, seeing all the fun elements that could come with that.
It's like a mini dark horror ghost story right in a song.
Yeah. Well, speaking of something that could be absolutely terrifying, here's my next one, because I can't pronounce the name for shit. But I'm going to try anyway. So, again, I think this is the pronunciation of the band, Deos. I think it is.
Yes, you've done that before, and I do think that is it. Yes.
So the name of the album is Fortitude, Pain, Suffering.
Wow.
It came out in 2013, and the song from that album that I just cannot get enough of is called Embalmed in Tears of Sorrow.
Oh, nice title.
Right? I read that title and I'm like, okay, what the hell am I getting myself into?
Yeah.
So, here's pretty much what I got myself
into. Is this a long one or a short one?
This length of a song is about almost 10 minutes.
Medium for a funeral doom. Yeah, medium. Short, actually short to medium, really, for a funeral doom.
Yeah, it's about average.
Okay.
So, it's almost like I said, 10 minutes long. This is a prime example of why I love Funeral Doom. From start to finish, you have a melancholy ride of deep growls and grief-stricken clean vocals. Hell, it pretty much is my favorite part. This is pretty much my favorite part of the song, which is the clean vocals, because of what the lyrics say.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to read the lyrics out right now. Close your eyes for one last time, knowing you're there. Hope is gone, so am I. Reaching for nothingness.
Ooh. Ooh.
Whenever this song comes on, I just have to have it on repeat because of that particular line. Just gets me every time. I get hooked on it again and again. It's almost like an addiction.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And just like I said, a great overall track from start to finish.
Is it what's the sort of musical sound to it? Like you're talking a lot about the lyrics and the voices, but what would be your description of the overall like?
The description I would describe it as is it starts off real quiet with almost like this atmospheric thing in the background that's quite hard to hear.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then it just punches you.
Wow.
Right from the get-go. You're just like, whoa, okay. And it just chugs along with that for quite a bit, and then it stops. And then you have this nice clean part.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as the guy has finished that last sentence, it just comes crushing back in.
Wow.
And the sound from the musical instruments that are being used here,
mm-hmm.
I would say is nothing short of what I would consider the best representation for what agony must sound like when you are that depressed.
Oh dear.
Like,
so I'm gonna have to check this one out.
Basically every hit of like the snare, every like, you know, stroke of the bass and guitar, everything that is in this just, it is pain. Just pain. And I love it.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it.
I really will have to check that one out in particular. Sounds interesting.
So, what's your next one there then?
My next one is a little bit more popular band, you might say.
Okay.
People probably know of this band, and it is HELLLIGHT. The band HELLLIGHT. And this is from their album Until the Silence Embraces, which came out in 2021. I heard the album one time and had to buy it. It was like, oh yeah, I need this thing. The song that I am doing is called The Dead Moment.
Ooh.
They actually have a nice video up on YouTube of this song, which I'm sure you'll put in the link. I mean, in the description. The link in the description. Why do I like this song? Well, the lyrics. I like the lyrics. And it has a melody that is maintained throughout the song that I also enjoy. And also the voices. The voices are really good in this song. The death growl is used to, in my opinion, its best ability. I can still understand everything that people are saying, but it is powerful. There's some parts which are more powerful and some parts which are more whispery or atmospheric. And I do believe the drummer is also doing death growl as well as the main singer, which makes it really interesting. So this song is, let me take a peek here and see how long this one's 11 minutes. It's over 11 minutes.
Ooh.
But well worth listening to,
Mhm.
and does not bore me one bit. No boredom. Absolutely beautiful. And I don't know if they put up the lyrics in the description here. Yeah, they did. So the lyrics are not very big. They're sort of short, but it's the way that they're it's the way they're delivered. And it's also, let me just say this right now. The first few times I heard this song, it struck a chord with me, and it brought tears to my eyes.
Wow.
Because
that's one hell of a song.
The last two lines of the lyrics got me. I don't want to give them away, because if I do, it's going to give this whole song away.
Yeah.
Look it up for yourself. I believe this song is speaking of the exact moment of death. That's it. And it's very powerful. It's not really scary. It's more just straightforward, saying this is the way it will be, and this is the way it is. Boom. It's lovely. It's so lovely that it is so emotional and able to bring that emotion out in a person. So that is what music can do. And I'm proud of that. That is what music did. That song did that to me. So interesting. Very interesting song.
Oh yeah, this is the thing, isn't it? Music can bring out emotion, and that's kind of its purpose, is to be able to bring out, the different emotions in you when you listen to certain pieces of it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's joy, sadness, anger, regret, whatever it is supposed to spark an emotion. And I've always said that if music doesn't make you feel something, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this one will capture you at the beginning all the way through. There are a few little change-ups, but not too drastic throughout. Somewhere, I think near middle to end, it does have like a little quieter part, and then it takes off onto a different tangent, which is still within this whole idea of the song, though.
Nice.
It's easy to listen to. For me, HELLLIGHT is really easy to listen to. It's easy to understand. And this song, though, had that powerful tug at my heart.
Well, see, if you hadn't picked that band, I sure as hell would have.
Yeah.
Well, I guess I might as well do my last one here.
Well, last one. Let's go.
So, might as well do my last one.
Yes, I want to know.
You could say I've saved the best for last. But
okay.
Depends on your point. Funeral. With their song, From These Wounds. From the album, From These Wounds.
Nice.
I'm going to try and keep this one kind of short. Even though the song itself lasts almost about 8 minutes. But the opening riff is just a killer.
Uh-huh.
The album was released back in 2006, and holy hell, when that riff ends and the vocalist comes in with his clean vocals, there is a sense of sorrow and disillusion in his voice and in the lyrics. And I'm just going to use the opening 2 lines from the song to demonstrate my point.
Yes.
In our cruel histories, aftergloom, mankind's treason brought its children doom.
Oh, wow.
How could you not feel the sorrow and disillusion after that?
Exactly.
Plus, there's this pulse-pounding violin that kicks in alongside the devastating drum sound, along with that guitar riff.
Yeah.
The whole song for me is just an absolute joy to listen to.
I'm going to have to check that one out. Yeah.
Every time this song comes up, the volume goes up and I start singing to this. For me, it is the very definition of both heavy and a doom masterpiece.
Great.
That's pretty much all I'm going to need to say on that one, because I think it speaks for itself.
Speaks for itself, and people need to check these out anyways for themselves.
Oh,
See what
absolutely.
I'd love to know what other people think, you know?
Oh, yeah. Don't forget, guys, if you've got, a list of yours, stick that in the comments. We would love to see what you guys' top fives are.
Or a suggestion.
Absolutely.
For us to listen to. I mean, we would love that. Shall I do my final?
Oh, your final one then.
Well,
let's go.
I mean, all of these are my favorites. I'm not categorizing, 1 to 5 or 5 to 1. I'm just doing songs. So, I will tell you after this though, which is probably my very favorite of the 5 though. And you probably already know it anyways. But let me do this one real quick here.
Okay.
My final one is from the Howling Void's new album, 2023, Into Darkness Evermore Profound, and it is the title track. I like it for a few reasons. One reason, it has a majestic quality, and it has, surprise, an uplifting sound. So the lyrics are really, really short, like just one tiny little paragraph. But the music just blows me away. There are a few little change-ups in there. You go through a few little different emotions, but it does have an uplifting quality, and it is in the sound of the music that you get that. So this is not one like the other one where I was saying all this really dark, deep. It's not like that. It's just a little piece of lyric describing one little thing, and what is it describing here? Let me take a peek. It is simply about life and death as being described as sort of something natural. And I think the music has that sort of natural quality to it. It's not we're not talking about a mourning sort of song. We're talking about just a sort of atmospheric, thoughtful song, and just love it. Love the whole album, and it's new. We both love that band.
Oh, absolutely. On a side note, in case anyone wasn't aware, we actually reviewed the song when it came out, and I would encourage you to go check that out if you haven't, to get more of our insight into that.
Yeah, we have some of the bands that you and I like. We do like them together, like both of us agree on things, and then we have our own little offshoots. So I'm just gonna say it right now, out of all these songs, you probably already know which is my absolute favorite.
I do. Go on, say it.
Aphonic Threnody Lies. It's just I can't get enough of that song or that whole album. I just can't.
For me,
listening.
And for me, it's obviously the Frowning.
Frowning. You love Frowning.
I just absolutely do.
You do. I know you do.
At this point, I might as well just have it tattooed on my forehead at this point. But, well, I guess that's going to do it from us here, mourners. You have been listening to Dirge of Mourning, and until next time, remember, Every day is a funeral.